once again time for our monthly Japanese snack box video, which I look forward to every month, and I hope you do too. This month, regrettably, I do not have a TokyoTreat box to open with you due to circumstances beyond my control, but what I do have is a beautiful Sakuraco box. This month's box is Valentine's themed, as is this month's TokyoTreat box, by the way, and you can still find links to both of them down below at the top of the video description and save $5 off your first box using those links. And of course, a big thank you to Sakuraco for sponsoring this month's video. But yes, we have just the one box here this time. So we're going to be looking at a variety of traditional, artisanal Japanese snacks that are probably going to make me really hungry because I'm already pretty hungry, and then I will be tasting some of them as well as the tea, because every Sakuraco box comes with a wide variety of delicious artisanal treats, usually centered around a particular locality in Japan, and this box is no exception. And then each comes also with a unique tea to have with your treats and a special piece of tableware. So of course I'm looking very forward to checking those all out this month with you. So for this month's box, like I said, it is themed around Valentine's Day, the month of love here in February. And we have this beautiful and unique design on the box. We've got some kind of what looks like a castle, maybe, and perhaps this is the sun behind it. Gorgeous clouds, rolling waves, and a crab, a really big crab. Hopefully not a giant enemy crab, hopefully a friendly crab. This design is unique to this month's box, and this month Sakuraco partnered with the Osaka Prefectural Government. Osaka Prefectural Government. So, most of the snacks and treats in here are going to be from local producers from the Osaka region. And one of the things that I love the most about these Sakuraco boxes is that you really do get an authentic taste of Japan. All kinds of interesting treats and snacks that you wouldn't otherwise have access to outside of Japan or outside of the regions, the localities from which these boxes are gathered and produced. And this one appears to be no different. So the wave pattern is carried around the sides of the box here, which is really nice. Or the front, at least. I guess not those sides. But I'm looking forward to trying some of these local delicacies. And the other nice thing is these boxes are supporting local, traditional Japanese producers. So that's kind of cool as well. Every box comes sealed, of course. Let's open it up. side, we have some lovely items. Each Sakuraco box, of course, comes with a postcard, a special piece of art that is unique to this box, and typically themed around the theme of the box or the place where the box comes from. And on the back, we get a message from Ayumi Tsukamoto, who was the founder of Sakuraco, as it says. February is undoubtedly a month filled with love and affection. Since Valentine's Day arrival in Japan decades ago, women have used this time to shower their friends, family, and romantic partners with tokens of affection. It goes on to talk about the kinds of treats that you might expect on Valentine's Day in Japan, and also about Osaka. Sounds like they have elaborate Valentine's Day displays there on the storefronts. Valentine's Bliss, I believe, is the name of this box. It's a very pretty image. It makes me think of a picnic, maybe. Perhaps a romantic picnic. Put that there for now. And then, in addition to the postcard, of course, we have the booklet. The booklet, which, I just noticed, it's like a couple behind not an umbrella. What do you call this thing? I mean, it is like an umbrella, but it's not an umbrella. I can't remember the name. There's a word for this. Anyway, we got a silhouette. It's very, very charming. Of course, red for love, and the sun shining in behind. This is indeed the Valentine's Bliss box. And this snack guide contains all kinds of very interesting and useful information. On the front page here, the front fold, we have the image of the contents of the box all laid out there so that you can get a sense, an overview of what's inside. It all looks really good, you guys. And very beautifully staged. Look at that satin, those flowers, so romantic. And then a little message from the Sakuraco team here. It says, in the 1950s, Valentine's Day made its debut in Japan and captured the hearts and minds of the nation. At the time, women professing their love to men was taboo, but Valentine's Day offered the perfect opportunity to express one's true feelings. Fascinating. I didn't realize that was the case. Since then, Valentine's Day has become a mainstay in Japanese culture. Every year, people celebrate their love and appreciation for not only lovers, but friends, family, and colleagues through the gift of sweets. That's my stomach growling, I told you. I told you I'm hungry. In Osaka, where the love for one's neighbors and friends are felt the strongest throughout Japan. That's a bold statement. Valentine's Day is particularly special. We're glad to partner with the Osaka prefectural government to bring you the perfect balance of sweet and savory, easy-to-love treats and tea. Sounds pretty darn good to me. I love how much I learn through these boxes and through these booklets. There's so much about Japanese culture that I didn't know, such as the fact that Valentine's Day is even celebrated there, and also the significance behind it culturally. And these guides go out of their way to fill in all kinds of details about Japanese culture. There's a lot to learn in here, and I find personally it really enriches the experience of trying these snacks because, these are not just sort of treats and snacks in a vacuum, but rather each one has like a cultural significance or context or a reason for being included and comes from a specific place. So when there's a story or, cultural significance tied to it, I find it a lot more interesting and meaningful. Sarah and I, my fiance and I, really enjoy going through these boxes, reading about each, snack, and sort of, we've gone to a local Japanese garden to share the box, and it's just a really nice kind of cultural experience, and very tasty, of course. That's important too. And then in addition to a little bit of information about each snack, there's all the allergen information as well. So if you're, sensitive to certain things, this will let you know what's in each treat. Here we're learning about different confectionaries. Usually some good history in here. Yeah, I just find it really interesting. Oh, here we go. We can learn about these umbrellas. This is exactly what I wanted to know. Umbrellas have been a motif in Japanese artwork for centuries. It's not uncommon to see a couple huddled lovingly together under an umbrella in many woodblock paintings. This is called the Ayagasa. That's not the word I was thinking of. Parasol. Parasol is the word I was thinking of. But I guess there's a specific Japanese term for the love umbrella. Throughout the centuries, it has been a sign of romance in Japanese culture. I did not know. But now I do. And of course, there's that piece of tableware I mentioned in each box. This one looks pretty cute. It's a little soup bowl. We'll learn more about it later when we take a look at ours. But Japan's city of brotherly love. I guess that's one of the themes of Osaka. It has undergone many transformations throughout the centuries, from economic hub to imperial capital to the kind-hearted cultural capital seen today. You can learn more about it. And of course, you've noticed this book goes from right to left rather than left to right because it's from Japan. Which is kind of fun. And every month they have photo contests and things where you can enter to win some fun extras. Some bento boxes, tableware, that sort of thing. And you can claim some additional extra stuff by interacting with their socials and that sort of thing. So let's put that aside right here. Well, okay then. We'll actually need this very shortly, so but let's dive into it here. So I recognize partially what this is. I recall from previous boxes, but I forget what it's called. But it's like the filled pancake. It's kind of like a pancakey thing with like a filling in the center. This one appears to be strawberry. Strawberry seems like a good choice of flavor for Valentine's Day. So that is dorayaki, strawberry dorayaki. Fresh eggs and soft dough baked with Japanese domestic flour make the fluffy pancake-like patties that surround the azuki bean paste and strawberry jam filling of this dorayaki. Yeah, I think we might have to have some of that. I think that might be a necessity. In a little bit. Oh my god, there's chocolate covered strawberries too. Chocolate mochi. Oh my god. Strawberries, definitely a theme here. And what do you know? We've got some chocolate covered strawberries right here. I assume these must be dried, dehydrated strawberries. A quintessential combination loved by those around the world on Valentine's Day. These bite-sized morsels of strawberry perfection are wrapped in a milk chocolate outer layer. Yeah, we might have to have some of those too. Having it in a little bit. Because that sounds real good. Alright, this is something different. What's this? It feels slightly cakey. Like it's not crunchy and dry. It's like a little bit soft and cakey. What could it be? That appears to be an ogura on pie, filled with slightly sweet red bean paste. This moist Japanese-style pie has a wonderfully tender, buttery crust. It's perfect as a light dessert or as an afternoon snack. So that does sound real good. But I think if we're doing something cakey later, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the strawberry teriyaki. Now this looks very crunchy. We've got some little images down here. We've got some very kawaii squid and like crunchy stuff on a stick. What do you reckon this is? What do you reckon this is? There we go. Red ginger squid bites. Fascinating. While traveling down the streets of Dotonbori in Osaka, you may come across stalls selling ikayaki, savory squid pancakes. Here, squid is fried and finished with red ginger to create the perfect savory and tangy bite. So it's literally dried squid. Yeah, that makes sense. That's ginger right there. These squids, they don't look super happy about getting eaten, but I can't blame them. Interesting. I've mentioned this in, I think, the last month's video, but I'm going to be traveling to Japan later this year, and I'm extremely excited about it. There's so very much to do and see and experience there, and I have to select just like a small, tiny bit at the time I have, and it's so difficult to choose because there's so much interesting stuff, so much fascinating culture. What is this? Oh, these look like maybe little donut bites. I had little donut bites in another box. I can't remember which one, but they were so good. These are covered in sugar, I'm assuming. Japanese sweets, it says. Oh boy, does that say ginger? I don't think so. Jinsu, I don't know. Let's... Oh wait, is this them? I don't think so, no. There we go. Dumplings. Kinako dumplings. Produced in Osaka, of course. Kinako is a slightly nutty, delicately sweet, fine ground and roasted soybean flour. Okay, these are definitely not what I had before. These sound interesting. It is most commonly associated as a topping for mochi. Here, it is infused into tri-colored dumplings to lend them their nutty, sweet flavor. I wonder if they're little fried dumplings. They are quite colorful, aren't they? Oops. We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. Here's another one of those little cakes, which we've already seen down here. Okay, let's do this. Some kind of crunchy little snack, clearly. My stomach is just cannot wait to dig into this stuff. I mean, my brain can't wait either, but my stomach's the one making the noise. Kombucha rice cracker. Interesting. Since the 1960s, children with insatiable sweet tooths have gathered into candy shops across Japan in hopes of getting candy-coated mugi or barley. Here, mugi, not sure. Once again, pardon my pronunciation of literally everything. I'm sure it's all wrong. Here, mugi is covered in a perfectly sugared strawberry flavoring. Huh. That's not what it looks like, but I'll take their word for it because what do I know? I feel like a kombucha rice cracker doesn't fit with this description. I wonder if this is a mismatched description. Because they're talking about rice, but then they're talking about barley, and they're talking about strawberry flavor, but then they have kombucha rice crackers. This looks like a savory treat to me. But maybe it's deceptive. Difficult to say. I guess when we get to, maybe there's something that corresponds better to this description. We'll find out. What is this? A little crunchy thing. What is the little crunchy thing? The little crunchy thing is these scenic Osaka arare. So it is like a rice cracker thing. Dotonbori, Osaka Castle. That's probably what's on the front of the box, eh? Tsutentaku Tower, Nakanoshima Park. When Osaka is said, these historical and architectural beauties appear in the minds of many Japanese people. Here, they are illustrated on the packaging of these delightfully fluffy arare. I wonder what building that is. I don't know. If I visit Osaka, maybe I will recognize it. I don't think I will be, sadly. I don't think I will have time to go there. But okay. These little things. We did see these in the booklet already. I'll read about them though. You might notice that a lot of these things are portioned for two. This is very much set up like a tea for two, but of course you can enjoy them all on your own as well and get double the portions. But for many of the treats, they're portioned into two, which is kind of nice and fitting for it. I guess a Valentine's Day box, yeah. Red ginger mame. I'm not sure. These crunchy morsels tempt the taste buds the moment they are placed on the tongue. The tangy red ginger shell is beautifully balanced with the savory and salty peanuts inside. Oh, I love me some coated peanuts. That sounds good. This thing here. It's pretty small, but it's kind of interesting. It's from Osaka. It's got like crunchy flakes on it. crunch chocolate. I like the sound of crunch chocolate. I think this one gets a page all its own here. Osaka Chioko. Starting as early as the 8th century, travelers would try okoshi, crushed millet treats, in Osaka and buy them as souvenirs. Here, Amidaike Daikoku has flavored their okoshi with white chocolate and raisins, creating their renowned Osaka Chioko. The umbrella on the packaging, inspired by the yellow umbrellas in Osaka, reminds one of the ever-adored Ayagasa symbol in Japanese culture. There we are. Cool. Okay, I have to know what this is. We've got an adorable cat cracker. Look at it, you guys. It's so cute. So sweet. Little kitty cracker. It's one of those like good luck cats. But where is the cracker? In the booklet. There. Manekineko Senbei. Manekineko, or the beckoning cat, are good luck symbols in Japanese culture. For those looking for love this Valentine's Day, red manekineko are said to bring forth good fortune in love and marriage. That's important. Here, the manekineko motif is carefully sculpted into a hand-baked rice cracker. They're pretty cute. I like it. Adorable design. Put that there. These are kind of squishy. Chocomochi, it says on there. That's fairly telling, isn't it? Chocomochi. Chocolate mochi. Decadent chocolate is intricately kneaded into this traditional Japanese classic to create the perfect Valentine's Day treat. Each mochi is wrapped in an edible wrapper. Oh, an edible wrapper. Huh. Never heard of that before. Okay. I guess maybe I have to try a wrapper. I don't know. Interesting. These were on the same page, so we can take a look at these. Something very strawberry once again. These are strawberry moogie. Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Here's our barley, or strawberry coated barley candy. So that description definitely makes sense here. It looks like, unfortunately, it got also used for that other one, wherever it is, the kombucha rice cracker. But this makes much more sense. Those do sound good, though. Look forward to trying those. Okay, let's take a look at this. So, it seems that most Sakuraco boxes include at least one sort of jelly or spread or jam or something like that. So this looks like a citrus, maybe citrus kind. Yes, it's from Osaka. Let's read about it. Mikan jelly. Mikan, a type of mandarin orange, is flavored in Japan. Is favored in Japan during the winter months for its refreshing sweet and tart balance. One popular winter pastime involves gathering around the family kotatsu, a low heated table, and peeling open fresh mikan. This mikan jelly is made from the juice of mikans from Kishu. It pairs wonderfully with a warm cup of tea. Tea which we have in here, and we will take a look at in just a second. Let's put that there. I think I had mikan flavored mochi in a previous box, and they are delicious. Here we have some kind of onion cracker, I think. Onion cracker. Senshu onion sable, produced in Osaka. This savory sable cookie is unassuming at first glance. Upon closer inspection, you'll be pleased to find bits of Senshu onion carefully kneaded into its dough. This crumbly, slightly sweet mouthful gives the impression of French onion soup on the palate. Now that sounds delicious. I wouldn't have guessed that it was slightly sweet, but I can see how that works. French onion soup is fantastic. Okay. Nice. And last but not least, oh no wait, we have two more things. What is this? What is this, you guys? Some kind of powder. I thought our tea would be in here, but no, the tea is beneath. So this is yuzu kuzuyu. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Kuzu, or arrowroot, is ground into a powder with yuzu to form a Kochi prefecture, or from Kochi prefecture, to create the main ingredient of this drink. Add boiling water to this mix, or adding boiling water to this mix results in a gentle, honey-like consistency, perfect for drinking on a winter's day. And they give you instructions on how to make it here. Fascinating. So it's like a thick drink flavored with yuzu. Very interesting. Arrowroot and yuzu. Now that's totally unique. I've never heard of anything like that, nor seen anything like that. And I probably never would if it weren't for this box. Very cool. That's quite unique. We'll put that over here. Alright, we're rapidly running out of space here because there's a lot to pull out, but we are nearing the end. We have our teas. Sakuraco Cross Giri. Sakura Sencha. So this is a Sakura green tea, I guess. And then also, whatever this is, Shichifukucha. So we've actually got two different teas here, I think. It did mention in the booklet there, I happened to notice that this month we have mystery teas. So, I guess we've got two separate teas here, two different ones. Let's see. Surprise tea selection. This month we've curated a special selection. So we can go read more about them on that QR code. But it doesn't specifically tell us about these types here. Well, I'm gonna pick one to try in just a moment. I'm very curious about about the Sakura Sencha. That sounds really yummy. So I think I'll do that. But last but not least, we have our tableware, which is a soup bowl. A soup bowl. Now, often the tableware is, like china, like porcelain, I guess. I'm not sure what it's typically made of. This one seems to be made of plastic, which is, I guess, why it's not in a separate box, because it's not gonna break, probably, being made of plastic, but it is quite lovely. And it is bigger than what we've had previously. You can see my reflection in the bowl, maybe. Hello. It's got these little birds, I guess, all over it. I'm actually not quite sure. I think they're adorable little birds. Let's read about it, though, because it says what's going on in here. There we go. Kimchi Dori soup bowl. This red soup bowl is decorated with a flock of golden plovers called a Chidori pattern. Small but resilient birds, plovers have the ability to fly through strong winds and high waves during migration. The Chidori pattern represents the ability to overcome challenges. Well, they are adorable little birds. We have plovers here, or plovers, depending on how you want to pronounce it. They are seabirds, right? They shorebirds, really, I guess. They live along the shore. But I guess they're resilient to adverse conditions. Fascinating. Well, that will do it, my friends. We have an empty box in front of us, and I've got an empty stomach, so I'm going to select 3 of these treats to try with you here in this video, as well as one of the teas. And I'll go put on some water for that, and we'll come back here and try them out. Let's do it. Alright, I have made some choices and boiled some water, and here we are. So I will start off by steeping the tea. As I was saying earlier, I was very intrigued by the Sakura Sencha. I don't know what makes it Sakura. I don't know if it's got a light cherry blossom flavor or something like that, but I guess we'll find out. It should be a mild green tea, I think. So let's open it up here. You know what? It can be torn like so. It's designed to be. Here's our delicate little tea bag inside, made of a mesh substance. And I will put it here. Oops. Let's pull that out of there. We don't need that in the tea. I think it's supposed to be a hot chocolate mug or something, or, glass. We got these for Christmas. I'm not quite sure. They're pretty though, but I figured they would show off the color of the tea really nicely. So let's do this, and just move that out of the way. I have here some water that I boiled, so let's pour that in. will set that aside for the moment. Let's put that there. Put this here. And we'll come back to it in a minute or two. In the meantime, I've picked some other things here. I have a habit of picking the sweets. You might have noticed. I don't know, they speak to me. The savory stuff is delicious too, of course, but I just can't help but want to try the sweets. So we have 2 strawberry themed items here, and then these soy paste dumplings. I think they call them dumplings. Let's split up the strawberry ones. It's kind of loud, unpleasantly so. Let's do it this order. We'll start with the chocolate covered strawberries and find out what they are about. On one hand, maybe I could have picked something more interesting because, chocolate covered strawberries are not exactly totally unique to Japan, but these just looked so good and they smell so good. Let's see. So we've got a chocolate lump with presumably a dried strawberry inside. Let's try it. That's exactly what it is. It's like a dehydrated, freeze-dried strawberry with actually quite a lot of milk chocolate around it. The strawberry's a little bit tangy, and the chocolate's very sweet. It's nice. Quite decadent. Very yummy. Let's move these over. Let's bring the tea back. It looks as though it could probably use another minute to steep. But it's hard to say. It's just it's very delicately colored. It's, verges on pale, but I think that's just how it is. I don't think it's going to develop much of a richer color. I think it's just a delicately colored tea. Well, then let's try it. I have a little item just for this kind of thing. It's made for holding tea bags. So we will pull this out of here and put that on there. Set that off to the side. And let's see what the aroma's like. Very delicate. Smells like a very mellow sencha. It's not got a lot of earthy depth to it. It's just more delicate and green scented. Let's try it. Oh, it does have a unique flavor to it, a sweetness. Interesting. A floral element. It's hard to say exactly what, but I guess that's the Sakura part. Yeah, it definitely has a delicate floral aspect to it. You don't smell it so much, but you can taste it. Very pleasant. Very, very calming. But a little bit brighter than some green teas I've had. A little bit brighter. Very yummy. And quite laid back. It's not a super strong flavor. Alright, let's try these mysterious dumplings. These mysterious dumplings. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh, sorry. Look, they come each on a little skewer. I've never quite seen something like that before, but I guess we'll try one of each flavor, or each color, anyway. Let's do top one first. So they're definitely coated in sugar, but they're actually not all that sweet. They're pretty mildly sweet. And they do have, like, you can taste, it tastes kind of like a little bit like an edamame, paste, I guess. There's a beaniness, sort of a leguminousness to it, if that makes sense. It reminds me a bit of like a red bean paste, but has a flavor of like soybeans. There's a dog outside that wants to try some. The different colors are flavored slightly differently. Not sure exactly how they're supposed to be flavored, but each one's a little bit different. They're yummy though, and not like anything I've ever tried before. Last one. Here. Oh, that didn't work. I was trying to just take a bite to show you, they're kind of a dense paste on the inside. Those are fun. Very different. But yummy. And fun presentation. And very nice with the tea. I'm really enjoying this tea. This might be one of my favorite teas that I've had from these boxes. And last but certainly not least, the strawberry dorayaki. So this one's literally just like two pancakes sandwiched together. I've had these before where it's kind of more like inside one large pancake, but this is more like two pancakes, and then the paste, the red bean paste with the strawberry jam, is in between, unless maybe that's red bean paste and the strawberry jam is inside each one. I'm not sure, but either way, I'm looking forward to it. Let's try it out. This yummy. And again, a fairly delicate flavor. I think I've said it before, but I always find it interesting how subtler, how much more subtle some of the flavors are in these treats. Generally, just how much less I'm like blasted up front by sweetness. Like there's sweetness, but it's more like blended with the other flavors, so you can actually taste the other stuff better. than a lot of what I'm used to out of North American treats. It's very moist. You can probably hear that when I bite into it. The strawberry in this is there, but it is pretty subtle as well. It's nicely balanced with the red bean paste. So the overall effect is like almost like a fig Newton. It doesn't taste like a fig Newton, but it has that kind of consistency and texture. Alright, one more bite, and then I'll save the rest for Sarah. I always try and save some of these snacks for her. Very yummy. Okay, tiny little nibble. One more nibble. Okay. Putting it back now. Very tasty. And again, goes very nicely with a sip of the Sakura Sencha. Delicious. Well, my friends, that certainly stopped my tummy from growling. I've got a little bit in there now. Each of those treats was delightful, and I'm looking forward to trying the rest of them as well. But let's wrap it up here, shall we? And that, dear friends, brings to a close our unboxing and tasting of the Valentine's Bliss Sakuraco box for this month. And just like all the other ones I've opened and tried before this, it's a really fun cultural experience, and I'm certainly looking forward to trying the other snacks with my fiance. We'll probably go to our local Japanese garden, and maybe we'll make a Valentine's Day date of it, because I think that would be really nice. Certainly the snacks they have in here are themed for the occasion, and I'm sure that you will enjoy them. And on that note, if you would like to pick up a Valentine's Day gift for your sweetheart, or even just a friend, or for yourself to experience and enjoy some of these Japanese Valentine's themed snacks, you can do so by checking out the Sakuraco box. You can still order this one for a short while more. So make sure you check on down in the video description there for the link that will get you this box and will save you $5 off your first Sakuraco box. And I will include the TokyoTreat link down there as well. As I said, this month I did not get to open one for us here, but if you would like to get something that has more sort of pop Japanese snacks, the TokyoTreat is for you. If you want something that is more traditional, has sort of more authentic and artisanal treats, then, well, you've seen it right here with the Sakuraco box. Both of them are delightful. I enjoy both each month. A big thank you to Sakuraco for sending over this box and sponsoring today's video. And a big thank you to each and every one of you for watching. I appreciate you being here. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found it relaxing. Happy Valentine's Day, friends. And I look forward to having you back here next time.